covered in schmutz. Toots? Hey, Toots. I'm covered in schmutz. How are you?
Good. I got Rue down here.
Got Rue.
At my feet.
We've got our first dog, our sweet, sweet friend, Rue.
Rue's here.
She's great.
She's off camera, but she's down here at my feet right now.
Here.
She's glorious. She's beautiful.
She's today was a big day because she got here yesterday, and she just seemed a little down. She was just staring out the window in this one chair for hours, and that wasn't very cute. But today, she played. Even last night, she finally had some dinner, loosened up, opened up a little.
She opened up. We're dog sitting,
yes.
By the way. Did we say that?
I think maybe not in those exact words. But yes, for about 2 weeks.
So this is day 2.
Day two
of Rue.
She played with her toy.
Yeah, she's a lot more comfortable, we can tell already today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yesterday she basically sat on a chair and stayed there all day.
Pretty much.
Felt like the safe place to be.
But then later at night, she ate her peanut butter Kong and loosened up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yes, it's great progress.
Is your headphone comfortable?
Huh?
Okay.
I wrapped it around here so I wouldn't fidget with it.
Nice.
And hold it because otherwise it drapes around the table and you got to flick it up all the time.
She's a pro, folks. How are you liking this room as a studio?
It's not my favorite so far, but I actually didn't review the last 2 edits. I should compare the location from like the kitchen counter into here, but so let me get back to you on that. Ask me that again on our next solo podcast.
Okay, I will.
What else you got?
Well,
Next.
I feel like practically it's the best place in the house to do it.
Well,
but
it is
aesthetically, it's the worst place to do it in the house.
Exactly.
The house is so beautiful, and here we are in this like storage
utility room, yeah.
But I think if we give it some love, maybe even paint it, it could look dope and could be perfect. And it's like so practical. We fit perfectly. It's the perfect size. We can leave the equipment set up all the time. It is that dream of like, hey, let's just pop in and, I mean, especially when the heat is no longer an issue.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's nice. There's, the table, this table. Woo, the table. Where would Elk Lodge even be without this table? It's been through it, but it's also like the best space to be making art. So it does kind of, I do like it in this room, but sometimes I kind of wish I had like a standing or bigger table in there,
in the
closer to the art room. But yeah, we moved this table out for dinner recently. So anyways, I don't know if it has to be so permanent ever, but I don't know. It's working. It's working enough.
It's working enough.
We've been borrowing the table as needed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's nice to have in here to work on. And
yeah, I agree.
I'm glad you don't have to set it up and break it down every time.
And I don't need to set up lights in here either. Like these lights are sufficient.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting interrogated under these. Right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where are the rest of the lights? Usually you do more.
That's what I mean.
I don't
even set them up. I skip them.
If I don't look good, I know who to come for.
That's right.
My lighting guy is getting lazy on me.
Yeah, I am getting lazy. I mean, I'm like trying to be efficient. I want this whole thing to run with as little of our time as possible, So have an AI cut it. I have AI just cut clips. I don't even watch them. I just put them out on YouTube.
Gosh.
There's a clip that goes out a day.
Twice.
I mean, for Instagram, I think
both.
I am going to like grab a clip and like really kind of make it because it's different for Instagram. At least feels different. I don't know if it is. But yeah, I've been like trying to just have it be less of an effort.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of the game. More efficient. The more efficient we are, the more we can do it and more we can do other shit.
It's true.
So
can't argue with that.
We actually have a plan for this episode. We recently finished the entire show.
We have a concept of a plan, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We recently finished the entire Seinfeld series for the second time since we've been dating in the past 5 years, which we've been married for one of those years.
Say since we've been together.
Since we've been together.
Right?
Sure.
Great.
Okay. Cut that out. So I thought maybe and it was fun when we did the newlywed game, like a trivia challenge using ChatGPT.
But I just want to, it's like nerve wracking too, like you never feel so much pressure. Just answer this question in this game, even though it's just you and me talking.
That's right.
Okay.
Pressure's on. So we're going to do a Seinfeld trivia challenge.
And let me guess, AI will be involved.
Yeah. ChatGPT is going to be the host of the game.
Naturally.
Yeah, I think it works best that way.
I think so.
Because otherwise, someone's got to read them, and they're going to be able to know the answer ahead of time.
Who can even read them? Yeah. We could rotate. Hold the phone.
Please excuse me while I communicate with our host.
That's a polite way to say zip it.
Hey, we recently watched the entire Seinfeld series, and my wife, Christine, and I want to do a Seinfeld trivia challenge game. So can you please ask us one question at a time, and we will and keep track of points. And after we've done 10 questions each, that'll be the end.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I'll start with your first question, and I'll keep track of points as you go. Here's your first question. What is the name of the coffee shop where Jerry and his friends often hang out?
Monk's Coffee. What's this? It's the phone. Monk's Coffee. It's crunching like it's typing up an answer to my Monk's Coffee.
Needs a minute to filter it all out.
This should be easy. This should just be...
Monk's Cafe is the iconic coffee shop in Seinfeld. Score update, 1 point.
So...
Here's your next question.
Okay.
What was the name of Jerry's eccentric neighbor who frequently barged into his apartment?
Kramer.
Close, but the name of Jerry's eccentric neighbor
Cosmo
is Kramer.
Kramer?
Cosmo Kramer. Score update. Paul and Christine, 1 point. Next question.
What? Did I get that
Hold
point?
on.
Because I know it's Cosmo Kramer.
You actually misheard Christine. She got the Kramer question correct. And we're competing against each other. So it's like one question for Paul, which was Monk's Coffee. I got that right. Second question to Christine. The answer was Kramer. She did get it right. So right now it's tied 1-1. So now it's one more question to Paul. And let's hear it.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying. Now the score is tied at 1-1. Here's the next question for you, Paul. What is the name of the holiday George's father, Frank Costanza, invented as an alternative to Christmas?
Festivus.
That's correct. Festivus for the rest of us. Score update,
Wow,
2-1.
sure.
Now here's the next question for Christine. What is Elaine's favorite type of candy bar, which she once bought in bulk during a trip to the movie theater?
Jujubes.
It seems like your message might have gotten a bit jumbled there. Were you asking for the next Seinfeld trivia question or something else? Let me know how you'd like to continue.
No, here's Christine's answer to that question about Elaine's favorite candy.
Jujubes. Right? Something chewy. Payday's came away.
Say for her answer.
Jujubes.
Thank you for mansplaining it to her.
You're welcome. If you'd like to continue the Seinfeld trivia or chat about anything else, just let me know.
Not going so well today.
Was the answer of the last one Jujubes?
Yes, you're right. Elaine's favorite candy that she bought in bulk at the movie theater was Juji Fruits. Score update, 2.
Not the same thing.
Let's
Not
keep
this.
going. Next question for
She said
Paul.
2-1 though.
What is the name of the book that George takes into the bathroom at a bookstore, causing the store to make him buy it?
The Tropic of Cancer.
That's correct. George
Wow,
takes Tropic of
that was a
Cancer
good
into the
one.
bathroom, and the bookstore makes him buy it. Score update, 3-1. Next question for Christine. What is the name of the clown at George's girlfriend's son's birthday party?
Oh my gosh. Is it Bozo? He gets mad that he doesn't know Bozo.
Hold on, she's thinking. Hold on.
That's right. The clown's name is Eric. But George is mad because the clown doesn't know who Bozo is. Score up 3-2. Next question for Paul. What is the nickname of Elaine's eccentric boss at the J?
Could you repeat the question, please? And it's actually still 3-1.
Thanks for the clarification. The score is 3-1. Here's the question again for you, Paul. What is the nickname of Elaine's eccentric boss at the J?
Jay Peterman?
That's correct.
Okay, 4-1. Next question to Christine, please. It's like typing out a whole explanation. Okay, now the score is 4-1. Please give the next question to Christine.
Got it. Here's Christine's next question. What is the soup restaurant owner's nickname who enforces strict rules on ordering?
The soup Nazi. Do, do, It's like I can't speak in between. It confuses her.
She said soup Nazi was Christine's answer.
That's correct. The soup restaurant owner was nicknamed the Soup Nazi. Score update 4-2. Next question for Paul. What item of clothing does Elaine accidentally leave behind at a friend's apartment, causing a major misunderstanding?
A blouse.
Close, but the correct answer is a red hat. Elaine leaves it at her friend's apartment, which leads to some confusion. Score update 4-2. Next question for Christine. What is the name of George's alter ego, the architect he often pretends to be?
Art Vandelay.
She said Art Vandelay.
Christine is really close, but the correct name is Art Vandelay, George's alter ego as an architect. Score update remains 4, Christine 2. Next question for Paul.
Wait. Christine actually did get that one right. You misheard her.
Sure did, bitch.
So it's 4-3 now. Also, when Christine talks, you don't seem to notice her talking. Here's what her voice sounds like.
Hi, Art Vandelay was.
So please be sure to listen up for her voice when she gives her next answer. So now it's 4-3. Next question to Paul. Go.
Got it. Christine did get that one right. The score is now 4-3. I'll make sure to listen carefully for her voice going forward. Here's your next question, Paul. What is the name of Jerry's uncle who often talks about his son, Jeffrey?
Uncle Leo.
That's correct. Jerry's uncle is Uncle Leo, who frequently talks about his son, Jeffrey. Score update 5-3. Next question for Christine. What is the name of Kramer's friend who speaks in a low, whispery voice and is often involved in shady schemes?
Newman.
That's right, Christine. Kramer's friend with the low, whispery voice and shady schemes is Newman. Score update 5, Christine 4. Next question for Paul. What was the name of the fictional movie that Jerry and his friends are often seen going to watch?
Prognosis Negative.
Correct. The fictional movie is called Prognosis Negative. Score update 6-4. Next question for Christine. What is Elaine's go-to dance move that her friends find embarrassing?
A leg kick? Or wait, God. I don't really want to put the name.
That's right, Christine. Elaine's embarrassing dance move involves a series of awkward kicks and thumbs.
Don't I know it?
Score update. Next question for Paul. What food item does George double dip at a party, causing an argument?
He double dips the chip.
Exact. George double dips the chip at the party, which leads to the argument. Score update. 5. Next question for Christine. What was the first name of Jerry's girlfriend whose name rhymed with a part of the female anatomy, causing a lot of confusion and jokes?
I need a minute.
Give her a second. She's thinking.
No problem. Take your time. I'll be ready when she is.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
Mulva?
It's like, I know, I keep hearing the word vulva. I'm like, vulva? Is it vulva?
Still guessing. Hold on. She's still thinking. She's still thinking.
You're getting close. The answer is Dolores.
No!
Jerry couldn't remember her name, and it rhymed with a part of the female anatomy.
Dolores?
Score remains 7.
That's what you just said. You didn't hear her say that?
I heard her
Next
say
question
it.
for Paul. What type of bread does Jerry's parents' community in Florida get obsessed with?
Black marble rye.
The correct answer is actually marble rye, but it's not specifically black.
Fuck. All right, so I don't get the points for that one.
No. Dolores.
Okay, so I don't get points for the marble rye. I got that one wrong. So what is the current score?
You're right. Since the marble rye answer wasn't fully correct, no points there. 6. 5. And Christine still has the next question about Kramer's first name.
Cosmo.
She said Cosmo.
Got it? Stopping here? Let me know whenever you're ready to pick it back up.
We're going to pick it up now. Christine's answer is Cosmo.
That's correct. Kramer's first name is Cosmo. Score update 6-6. It's all tied up. Next question for Paul. What phrase does George's father, Frank Costanza, famously shout during arguments?
Serenity now. Poor connection.
No wonder she's just struggling today. Also, she just does not register my voice. She really struggles.
I've learned to tune you out too.
I know. I hate when that
Serenity
happens.
now.
Sensitive subject.
Exactly. The phrase is serenity now. Score update 7-6. Next question for Christine. What candy does Jerry's girlfriend refuse to share with him, sparking a relationship conflict?
Payday?
Close, but the correct answer is Twix. Jerry's girlfriend refuses to share her Twix candy bar.
So easy to share, too.
Score
I
remains
can't picture the scene.
Christine 6. Next question for Paul. What is the name of the character who always insists no soup for you?
The soup Nazi.
That's correct. The character is known as the Soup Nazi. Score update 8-6. Next question for Christine. What was George's excuse for breaking up with his girlfriend when he wanted to avoid breaking up face to face?
Which time?
Good point. For this one, we're referring to the time George famously said his excuse was, "It's not you, it's me."
Well,
Now, next question for Christine. What fake company does George claim to work for when he's unemployed?
Vandalay Industries.
That's correct. George claimed to work for Vandalay Industries. Score update. Next question for Paul. What does Elaine order at Monk's Cafe that she claims makes her sick every time?
The tuna sandwich?
That's right. Elaine often orders the tuna sandwich and complains that it makes her sick. Score update 9-7. Next question for Christine. What job does Jerry's girlfriend work in, which becomes a problem because of her man hands?
What's her job? Do you know?
Hold on. She's thinking.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. I don't remember anything other than the damn dinner scene with the lobster.
Christine, what's your answer to the question about Jerry's girlfriend with man hands?
Just guess.
She's works for a nonprofit. I don't.
The answer is she's a waitress.
Did not remember that. Okay, fine.
All right, Christine got that one wrong. Okay, Christine got that one wrong.
Sorry,
Next question for Paul. And can you make these a little harder moving forward?
They're gonna break her. Breaker.
I think it's the...
One negative point for this room podcast.
Okay, Christine got that one wrong about man hands. So now the question goes to Paul.
Right. Since Christine didn't get that
That's
one,
a man
the
hand
score
right
stays 9, Christine 7. Now the next question is for you, Paul. What board game does Jerry play with his girlfriend's father that ends in an argument?
Monopoly.
That's correct. Jerry plays Monopoly with his girlfriend's father, and it ends in an argument. Score update, 10. Next question for Christine. What character does Elaine date who is a bad breaker-upper, often leaving his exes with emotional scars?
You remember his name?
I think so.
I'm listening.
Ted?
I think it's Kevin or something. Christine guessed Ted. Christine guessed Ted.
Not confidently, but Ted.
Is his name Ted?
Rob?
I thought it's Kevin or something.
Kevin's a different guy, I think.
Christine guessed that the bad breaker-upper is named Ted. Is that correct?
Close, but the character's name is David Putty. He's the one known
That's
for
not
being
David.
a bad breaker-upper.
No. No, the bag breaker upper is the guy
You
who
are
gets
wrong.
stabbed
David
in the
Putty
head
is
with
not
a
the
fork.
bad breaker-upper.
I'm coming for you, AI. This is wrong.
How do we trust anything you say now?
I'm expert enough to know that that's wrong. I mean, they are bad at breaking up, though. David
But he's
Putty,
not the bad breaker-upper.
But I could see why she'd be confused about that because they're on again, off again all the time, hot and cold, hot and heavy.
But bad
Well, not
breaker-upper.
hot and
It's
heavy. That's
so
somebody else.
clear.
Yeah, there's a whole episode about it. He gets stabbed with a fork by an ex, and the wine is thrown in his face while she's on a date with him.
So what do you have to say for yourself, ChatGPT? You are totally wrong about that.
It's like how you're gonna like talk
Not so
sternly
chatty
to
now,
our
are
children.
ya?
Huh? You're gonna look into the future.
I gotta start it here. You are wrong. The bad breaker-upper is not David Putty. David Putty is somebody else. What do you have to say for yourself?
I want to know his name.
You're absolutely right. David Putty is Elaine's on-again, off-again boyfriend, but he's not the bad breaker-upper from that specific episode. My mistake. The bad breaker-upper is actually Tony, a character in a different context. Thanks for catching that.
Tony. I was
Let's
close
adjust
with
the
Ted.
flow. The score remains at 10-7. Would you like to continue with Paul's next question about George's father's unusual clothing, or take it in another direction?
You know, I'm just curious. You knew the answer was Tony, so why did you get it wrong the first time? What happened?
I appreciate the question. And you're right to be curious. Sometimes, even with knowledge in mind, small mix-ups happen, especially when juggling a lot of details from a long-running series like Seinfeld. I initially associated David Puddy with Elaine and got sidetracked there, when I should have zeroed in on Tony, the actual bad breaker-upper. Thanks for keeping me on track. Let's get back into the game. Would you like to continue with the next question for Paul?
Yes, please. And let's make the questions even harder moving forward.
You got it. We'll dial up the difficulty from here on. Let's pick up where we left off. Next question for Paul. What alias does Kramer use when pretending to be a movie director in the Fire episode?
Van Nostrand.
That's correct. Kramer pretends to be a movie director named Martin Van Nostrand. Score update, 11-7. Looks like Paul has reached 11 points.
I gave it to you.
Want to
It's
continue
pretty
with
good.
more challenging questions or call it here?
Let's give Christine one more hard one. And if she gets it right, she wins. Or if she gets it right, we'll be tied. And then we'll do a tiebreaker
That
after
feels
that.
better. Thank you.
Sounds like a fun plan. Here's a hard one for Christine. In the episode The Contest, what song plays every time George's mother catches him doing something inappropriate?
That is a hard question. Can I have a clue?
Sure. Here's a clue. It's a classic song by Judy Garland, and it's often associated with dreams and nostalgia. What do you think, Christine?
Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
That's correct. The song is Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland.
Who knew?
It's now tied at 11-11.
All right,
Looks like we're heading into a tiebreaker.
You
Here's the
betcha.
final tiebreaker question for both of you. What is the name of the library investigator who hunts down Jerry for an overdue book?
Nope, we got it. I don't got it.
Mr. Bookman.
That's right, Paul.
Beautiful. Well, sir, I must say, hell of a match. You played a hell of a match.
That's fun.
That was
I totally guessed on tuna
pretty
fish
good.
and one of the other ones. Totally guessed.
not our smoothest, but it is pretty impressive that we could invent a game in our head. Like, that was our idea of like, oh, what should we do? And then we thought of it, and then AI made it possible. So
Do you think she
cool.
like...
I think she had it out for me. Yeah, I think it was rigged against me the whole time.
But it seems like once I said, here's what her voice sounds like, listen, pay attention to that voice more, she
did a better
did
job.
do that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize she could do that.
Well, obviously, part of you did because you commanded her to.
I tried it out.
Yeah.
She really let us down with that David Puddy, though. Like, how right? ChatGPT is not always right.
No, it's not.
And so
I know,
here we've been like doing investigate, like, let's fact check that. And it's like, oh, turns out it's actually, there was no king with a lisp. Like,
Yeah, it's
now I don't
just-
know.
It's interesting too, because like the other day I noticed a mistake with AI too, where I was looking up like local coffee shops that like test their coffee for mold, whatever, and they pulled up a coffee shop that I used to go to, but that's like since changed. It was Decibel Coffee before it was Decibel Coffee, and I'm like, oh, that company doesn't exist anymore. But they like didn't get the memo, you know. We're just like still think they're at it, but they're not.
So yeah, there's certain things. I mean, it is like learning. Like we just helped it, you know.
Yeah,
we just
we did.
helped it. But like
We
maybe
just used,
now,
like,
if somebody plays that
40
game tomorrow, it won't
Glitch so
make
bad.
that same problem.
It'll be like
Is that
was
how
like
that works?
$900 worth of water used to power that search engine right there just for that game.
Got to do it.
Watts on watts on watts.
You got to do it. What do we need water for? Who needs water? Also, like, where does the water go? It's still here. It doesn't go to space.
I don't know. It's like,
You know, like when you leave a
industrial
faucet
waste.
on and someone's like, oh, you're wasting water. Like, what do you mean?
Well,
Where do you think it's going? It's still here.
it's wasted or like lost, just not in the same source. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
but I pay for that water to flow through. So like, it's a wash, kind of, right? Like, how do you waste water? If it's still here.
I don't know. There
I
are
don't either.
limited water resources. So
But the water that's here has always been here.
Yeah.
And with the ice caps melting, there's more water. We should be wasting water. We got to get rid of some water. The sea levels are rising. No, I don't know. Let's ask.
I'm not sure how to unpack all that.
If I'm running my faucet, someone might say, hey, you're wasting water. But I would argue that the water is still here on the planet. So how am I wasting it? Is it possible to waste water?
I mean, it's just the energy.
Let her.
That's a good question.
Because you have to pause for a second.
While it's true that water itself doesn't disappear and remains on Earth, the concept of wasting water refers more to how usable or accessible it is. Here's why people might say you're wasting water. 1. Energy use. Water in your faucet has been treated, pumped, and transported, often requiring energy and resources. When water is used unnecessarily, it increases the demand for energy and resources, which has an environmental impact. 2. Limited fresh water. While Earth has plenty of water, only a small percentage is fresh and easily accessible for drinking, agriculture, and daily use. Using more water than necessary can local water supplies, especially in areas facing droughts. 3. Wastewater treatment. After you use water, it typically goes down the drain and needs to be treated before it can be released back into the environment. This process also uses energy and resources, so excessive water use can burden wastewater systems. In short, you're not losing the water from the planet, but excessive use.
Connection failed, but okay, we get it. Okay.
Makes a lot of sense, right?
It does.
It's no longer available.
Yeah, and like you're wasting the energy of getting water. You're being wasteful in some way. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there is a question, like if regular search engines require less water to operate, is that like a more sustainable thing? I mean, it would be.
Why does
arguably.
AI use water?
It uses them, I think, for like their coolants and stuff, keeping everything like the AC and stuff and the energy. I really don't know.
Is ChatGPT like in a room somewhere and like just like overheating? Someone's like throwing water at it?
Yeah, the servers are like in huge rooms. Like they need really intense systems to
Let's see if we
operate.
Get an honest answer from AI about its water use. Hey, I keep hearing that AI and things like you use a lot of water to run. What is that water being used for? And is that true that you use more water than conventional search engine like Google?
Yes, it's true that AI systems like me, particularly during training and operation, can use a significant amount of water and energy. Though the comparison to conventional search engines like Google depends on the specific context. The water usage comes mainly from the cooling systems used in data centers. Here's a breakdown. 1. Cooling data centers. Data centers, where all the processing happens, generate a lot of heat from the servers running AI models. To prevent overheating, cooling systems are used, and water is often a part of this process. 2. Energy generation. Many power plants, especially hydroelectric or fossil fuel-based, require water for energy production. So indirectly, AI systems use water through the energy needed to power data centers. As for the comparison to search engines like Google,
Cat got your tongue? Suddenly we're not so
I'm
eloquent?
pretty sure that's what I said too.
It is exactly what you said.
Don't trust me anymore. He's just all about AI. Soon she's going to be in bed with us. Oh, wait. She already does come to bed with us.
Yeah.
I talked about leaving my phone out charging overnight.
You did.
And I still didn't do that.
Didn't.
Still have it right there by the bedside. That's how addicted we are.
First thing I grab in the morning.
Sure.
Before I pee often, I'm looking at my phone.
I don't have to pee urgently most of the time.
But so literally the first thing I do is I just touch this thing, at least, you know?
Yeah, I want to know what time it is.
Which this is what I mean. Like,
That's how it starts.
the computer chip will go in our brain, but that'll be slightly different. Like, we're attached to this. Go somewhere without this. You just don't, you know, like this might as well be
rare.
attached to your body. And the brain thing will just be attaching, you know?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Rue, still down there by your feet?
How you doing, Rue? What did you think of the episode? What did you think of the show?
She thought it was quite a bore. Apparently,
Yeah, she fell asleep.
She slept right through it.
But I think that means she's comfortable.
That's good. Yeah, we like that.
Cool. Well, this was fun. A nice quickie.
It was, but hopefully not too much downtime. There's a lot of little silent time while she thought. I get it.
If you're mad at us, talk to the AI.
What was the other question that I couldn't or I didn't know and then she skipped? There was something else.
The man hands.
Oh yeah, the man hands. I don't remember her.
And also Dolores.
Waitress. Dolores.
Like, she doesn't do a good job of discerning, like, I'm thinking out loud and like, okay, here's my guess.
Yeah.
You know, like, they really need to work on that. Where it's like, if I'm like, okay, let's see, what is her name? And then they'll go, oh, you don't know her name? I'll tell it to you. It like, you know, like it's still not really able to understand that and what's going on with that.
Yeah. Some kinks to work out.
Some kinks to work out. And we're here kind of helping it in a lot of ways.
Get the water, fire it up. We got to figure this stuff out.
Does it have to be fresh water? Can't you just wash it with like dirty water? You're just like running it through pipes and stuff, right? To cool things down. You're not throwing water on a machine. So I doubt.
I mean, what do you think you're going to get like dirty water flushing through the
like
faucets?
gray water or like just unprocessed water, you know, not drinking water would not need to go through the same regulation.
If they do.
Or salt water.
I mean, who knows? I don't know. There's probably a lot of logistics I couldn't explain to you about why that's not done. I'm sure if it was...
I'm surprised you can't explain all my questions about this technology that was invented 2 years ago that we don't even know shit about.
I'm not sure, but it's I bring it up casually, just like something to think about, you know? I don't think most people think about the average amount of gallons it takes to grow a pair of jeans, but it's excessive, you know?
They're just growing jeans and trees. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I know what you mean.
They're growing them here. Cotton, remember?
Yeah. Or I mean, even like almonds, you know, like almond milk was like all the rage. And then everyone's like, dude, you know what it takes to fucking make an almond? Like, it's crazy. So like, it was like, oh, that's really wasteful actually. Also, like a lot of vegetarians don't want to eat meat, so they eat vegetables. But like to make vegetables, like animals die, you know, like animals still die when you're gardening. You need to get animals off your property. Like animals die in the process of vegetables being grown.
So you can still grow food without a lot of pesticides. You can do organic gardening and like do pest control differently with chickens and just really work on.
Okay. I just repeated something that I heard like Joe Rogan say probably. So let me check it.
Which part?
Hey, I've heard people say like, okay, yeah, it's great to be a vegetarian because you're not eating meat, but actually a lot of animals die in order to grow vegetables like broccoli or kale. Is this true? And like, how?
Yeah, it's true that even when growing vegetables, some animals are harmed, but it's not the same as directly eating meat. When large-scale farming happens, animals like insects, rodents, and even small mammals can be killed during the harvesting process or by pesticides. Farming also disrupts natural habitats. However, the argument for vegetarianism or veganism is that plant-based diets still cause fewer animal deaths and use fewer resources compared to raising livestock for meat. Growing vegetables generally requires less land, water, and energy than meat production, which can still make it a more ethical choice if reducing harm is the goal. Have you been thinking about changing up your diet or just curious?
No, I've been doing it.
Bitch, don't try to change me.
I've been changed.
Don't try to influence me. You've been eating a little more meat though recently, especially like steak. You like red meat. You don't like pork. You don't like.
That's like a new thing. I was never that into steak before. I always didn't like how like chewy, and still I can be really put off by meat, like steak really quick. Like the fat, I hate when the strings of it get stuck in my teeth. Bad feeling. But yeah, lately I've been really enjoying it. I feel like I used to be really into chicken, and now that still kind of creeps me out.
You did say the other day though you wanted like a rotisserie.
I know,
chicken.
I wanted it, but then I had like the next opportunity. I was offered chicken, I didn't take it. Like,
who made the chicken salad? Oh, your sister.
Yeah, and that was like a rotisserie. I didn't eat it.
I didn't eat it. And pork, you're like you have an aversion to pork. It seems too.
I don't know. I never. It's like pork. If it was like covered in barbecue sauce and on a sandwich with coleslaw or something, like I would like it.
But did you eat it?
I ate Florida? A bite of yours.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was good. It was really good. But that was like, you know, pretty good quality meat and a professional chef cooking it. So it was like up close and personal. But yeah, that I used to not make exceptions for things like that. But I'm like, you know, it used to matter to me that I had like a streak going. Yeah. You know, I was like, oh, I hadn't eaten meat in 6 years. Like I didn't want to interrupt that. But I still know that collectively, like my lifestyle is ultimately where I wanted to be on that account, like on that. So it's just fine. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I admire that so much. Like so many people get caught in their like identity. I'm a vegetarian. Like, oh, if it was like me with like, I don't read, or like someone being like, I'm a Republican. Like you have this identity, and like betraying that identity, shifting from that identity is so hard for people. Like it's hard for everybody. And so I'm really impressed that you're like, you know, you've been a vegetarian for 8 years, and like, you're not beating yourself up over like, yeah, eat some meat sometimes if it's there, and if it looks good, and if I feel like it, I'll take a bite. Like it's not, I don't know, the lack of ego in that, I really commend. I think it's impressive.
Well, thanks. I hadn't thought of it quite like that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a little song and dance I do sometimes. It's like interesting. It's kind of the same way with alcohol too, I guess. Just, I think last year really like motivated me that I hadn't drank in this amount of months and that amount of months, you know, and then making exceptions, I feel like has allowed other exceptions, and I'm not feeling as positive about the exceptions I've been making lately for alcohol that I don't mind with the meat. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. That doesn't to me feel like it's my ego. It just felt, I don't know. I guess I'm not really sure. It doesn't feel ego
like the self, the belief of self and identity and like me, like that's ego, you know, like, you know, if I say like, I'm a drummer, I'm not saying that's egotistical. Like I'm the best drummer, but like that's my ego. That's my identity. That's my sense of self, which is kind of like this fake construct we make for ourselves and of ourselves. That is like sort of in philosophy, as far as I understand it, that is the ego. So like everybody has the ego. That doesn't mean they're egotistical, but like you're saying like, I'm Christine, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I behave, these are my principles. Like pretty sure that's your ego.
But it's interesting though, because I wasn't like identifying as saying I was sober. So like, I feel like I've hung on to the identity more on I am a vegetarian more than I latched on to I am sober. I never said that. I just said I would sometimes use the phrase sober curious. Sometimes like say like, California sober. Yeah, exactly. But there wasn't like one specific title that I didn't, I feel like sober is the ultimate like stamp, like the equivalent to, you know?
Yes.
So I don't know. It's interesting that those little cheats or whatever feel like a bigger deal.
I just think the alcohol was an exercise of self-control.
Yeah.
You're not like, I want to eat meat, but I shouldn't. You like, you have an aversion to it most of the time. And if you feel like eating it, you do. But like alcohol, we kind of were like I mean, we did have, it wasn't that hard, especially at first. Like we were like stoked just to like take a break from alcohol, you know?
Yeah.
But like, it was also an exercise of self-control. Oh, that beer looks good. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Like, and so it was less than an identity thing. I think it was more of just like, once you loosen that self-control grip a little bit, it's so much easier to just say yes to a drink the next time and the next time and the next time. So
yeah. Like there was a weird sense of pride. I felt that like I had 5 drinks all last year, you know, like that number. I was like, that's so low. That's so impressive. Like there were easily weeks in life probably last week where I had 5 drinks in a week, you know? So it's cool. Like, yeah, I would rather it be closer to the 5 drinks a year and like get back to, I don't know, but man, I love alcohol, you know? It's been harder not to drink here than in LA in a big way. And I don't know exactly why, you know?
But what do you love about alcohol? Because you don't really like to like get good and drunk. You don't seem to.
Oh, I just like the taste.
You like the taste.
I like the taste of most booze.
But like a shot of mezcal. Because when like a mocktail and a cocktail, like the good taste is really kind of the same in both.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But I don't know. The burn. I like the burn. I
Yeah,
like
no,
the taste.
I'm
I like
with you.
the
I
whole
mean,
experience of it. I don't know.
A mocktail's like drinking decaf coffee.
Pouring a drink. It's all fun.
Yeah. And there's an idea behind it. You know, it's almost like the marketing of alcohol in general perhaps is playing a role there. Cause like I picture like, dude, I'm fucking like, we just bought a house. Like I should celebrate. I should sit outside and like, I've earned this little treat, this little sip of poison.
It's got a monopoly on celebrations in a big way.
Yeah, like you feel like...
For sure.
And we've been kind of celebrating, you know, we've been on like a celebration.
Yeah, we've been on vacations, celebrations, but, and you know, whatever. I'm not losing sleep over it, but
no, me neither. We're
it's
doing
all
good.
just interesting to think about from time to time and just kind of wonder, check in about it. And yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. I haven't had like a hangover in ages, you know. Sure. Love that. But although the other night I did actually go to bed with a nasty headache and I had a glass of rosé and red wine, and I don't know, it was just enough. It was enough to push me over. But it's cool. It's cool that I can notice and adjust accordingly, you know.
I drank like a few days in a row, like on vacation in Florida. It was like beers in the day. Then at night, it's like, oh, let's drink some of this rum. Great. By like day 4, I just started to feel like a little icky. And I didn't like, so I never woke up hungover. I never was like, wow, last night it was like the accumulation of it all kind of caught up to me. And I just felt like icky.
I don't know. It kind of gives you a little funk.
Yeah, a little funk.
Me too.
But yeah, I like not being too regimented with it. I think for some people that's important. For some people, like they've just, you know, they've figured out they're an alcoholic. They have a huge problem and they should just drink zero. And I commend those people.
Well, and I totally understand because I get it. It is easier to do all or nothing because again,
moderation's tough.
Moderation's hard, and I don't know. It's like if you make an exception for it because of this, like you said, you're just more likely to make an exception again. So I definitely commend it. And yeah, I mean, it would suck never to drink another beer again, but if that was the cost to like make sure it never went out of control, I get it. I would do the same thing if I felt
I agree.
Like it was out of control.
But I like this kind of a little more of a like malleable approach, you know. When I was doing my hypnotism with Ron, my hypnotherapy, we kind of like called it like the asterisk sort of concept. I don't know, theory. I don't know. But it's like, I don't drink, asterisk. Sometimes I have a drink.
Sure.
Like, I don't smoke weed anymore, asterisk. Sometimes I stay up late and I smoke weed, you know? Like, so it's like, it's not militant, it's not so regimented, but it kind of takes, in some ways, more discipline to stay there. I mean, to drink one, here I go with the talk with my hands. To drink one beer a week for the rest of your life is probably harder than drinking 0 beers for the rest of your life.
I would think.
So.
Because, you know, it's not just Pringles that once the fun pops, you don't want to stop.
It's a lot. Actually, Pringles, the fun does stop eventually. You know, like once you pop, the fun stops after just a couple chips, really. You don't need much more than that.
You could set them all on fire after that and you wouldn't miss them.
Yeah. You ever ate a flaming Pringle?
No.
I have.
But I put them in my mouth like a duck, of course.
But of course.
Those are like some of the worst chips on the market for you health-wise, too.
I know, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom as a kid told me, like, I was like, can we buy Pringles? She's like, no, those are plastic. And like, I thought she meant like, those are plastic, like literal, you know, she just meant like, it's not fucking food.
I mean,
what is that?
she wasn't wrong.
It probably has plastic in it.
I'm sure it's gotten even worse since then.
For sure. But I was like, literally thought it was like plastic. Like,
I mean,
like those are plastic. You're literally eating plastic, which I guess now she knew a lot more than we realized, huh? About these microplastics.
For real. It's like a whole credit card we're getting on a yearly basis or something. No, I don't remember the stat.
No, but it's something.
It's a lot. It's way more than we should be. That's for sure.
Right. No credit cards should be in us at any time.
Let's hope for great regenerative farming in the future and just the end of this industrialized agriculture system as we know it.
And nanobots.
So we can have better food.
Little tiny nanobots that can go in your body and just remove the plastic.
Ah, sure. Let them up. Put them in there.
Get them
it's
in
like
there.
a probiotic, but it's just a probiotic.
It's robiotic.
It's a probiotic.
Yeah, I wonder.
I
like,
already got the branding down for this.
You do.
We should talk.
Run
Where's
with it.
Big Pharma when I need
Where
them?
y'all at?
I'm looking for work, so hit me up.
I'm typically such a late adapter. Like I didn't get a smartphone till 2013 or 14 or something. You know, like I had just the flip phone. I was like, I'm fine with it. I can open beers with this phone. Can you open beers with your phone? You know, that was my thing. But
a lot of people are switching back,
yeah,
which is kind of fun.
it's awesome.
You get a lot more time back than you realize.
Yeah,
Hours a day.
yeah. Anyway,
Fuckers.
this was fucking fun.
It was fun.
I fucking love you.
I fucking love you.
And thanks for watching, guys. We love you too. Appreciate you guys.
I was going to say, should you wake up Rue and give everybody a little close up of Rue?
No, we'll let her sleep.
Okay.
She'll be here for the next episode.
Nice. It's
Right?
true. Yeah. Well, she'll make an appearance if you're lucky.
Tune in. Don't miss out.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Nailed it.